Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, we are looking at the brand new Wolverine series. So this opens up exactly how you would expect, with this taking place after Krakoa and the fall of X. Alongside the other new X-Men stories that we've been covering here on the channel, go ahead and check out the playlist here if you haven't. And we see that he is out in Canada, in the snow, running around with a wolf pack, surviving exactly like an animal. Like I said, exactly what you would expect, and exactly like we've seen before. But we then find that a hunter is actually after him, and this hunter's name is Cyber. Now, we get some narration from Cyber as he's following the tracks from the wolves, and he basically goes over his whole history with Logan, saying a century ago, he was Logan's drill sergeant in the army. He taught him how to be a soldier, how to be a man, and through some sheer crazy consequence of fate, they ended up in a similar situation. See, Cyber's skin is made out of adamantium the same way that Logan's skeleton is, and over the years, their paths have crossed again and again, actually ending up as enemies, and at one point, Logan even bit his eye out, which you can't really tell because of his mask here, but basically, he's hunting him down now that he's off Krakoa, because as he said, when he was on Krakoa, he was surrounded by heavy hitters that he's not stupid enough to try and take on. He's back to being a wild animal. He knew that at some point he was going to come back to this, and now he's going to seize the opportunity to get revenge. And then we actually jump to see someone else following the tracks and find that it's Nightcrawler, and we get a funny monologue from him, where it's kind of a play on Wolverine's old classic monologue from his original series, saying, "I'm the best at what I do, but what I do is worry, and I'm especially good at worrying about my friends. Since we left Krakoa, my friend Wolverine has cut off contact with the X-Men, including me. He's been outright hostile towards my attempts to reach out to him. So I'm not here to save Wolverine from a giant robot or some mutant villain. I'm here to rescue Wolverine from himself. I've got to find my friend, and soon." Before Wolverine launches out, screaming with his claws out, headed straight for Nightcrawler, before Kurt ducks and says, "Wolverine, it's Kurt." But it's like he doesn't hear him. He slashes again, and Nightcrawler teleports away, before finally pausing and then taking a sniff in the air saying, "Elf?" And then Kurt reappears and then hugs him, saying, "Well, of course it's me. Didn't you recognize me?" And we see this really dark, defeated look in Logan's eye where he says, "I guess I didn't. Head's kind of messed up." And then we see the entire wolf pack that he had been running with completely mauled, and Nightcrawler's like, "Logan, I'm so sorry." And we get a great monologue from Logan, basically airing it out, telling us his whole situation. "I haven't been in the best place these past couple months," he says, "with Orcus, the end of Krakoa, leaving the X-Men. It's taken its toll. I ain't much used to the X-Men right now, but in the pack, I was needed, and I got what I needed. Space, quiet, survival. It was perfect." And Kurt, being as understanding as ever, says, "They sound like they were worthy family to you. I'm sorry." And he pulls something out of his bag, saying, "But Logan, you still have family. Family that needs you." And he pulls out a box, handing it to him, saying, "I brought this to remind you of that." Wolverine looks at the box for a second before immediately handing it back. "It's not me anymore. This is the past." Well, the past has a way of catching up with us, especially with X-Men. Like you just said, things are bad for mutants right now, Logan, and one of our wisest, most powerful leaders is hiding out in the woods. And they hear a scream off in the distance, someone begging, saying, "No, please, help! Oh God, someone help!" Sounds like it's from that campsite downhill from here. And then Nightcrawler shoves the box back into his stomach, before the two of them suit up, ready to run in as heroes. Wolverine screaming, "All right, Elf, let's go." So right there, I just want to stop and say, I'm glad that went by so quickly. I'm glad they just kind of told it like it was, but damn, man, like, could we get some more of that? Like, I would love a Wolverine series where it's just him and a wolf pack, like him just surviving. Like, maybe not hanging with the wolf pack the whole time, but like survival Logan. I would love an entire series of that. Can we just get that? Like, I know Wolverine has to be with the X-Men. He's got to sell and all this stuff. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine just came out recently, so they got to get him with everybody else. They want to sell all these books. But come on, bro. I would love a whole story of that. Like, we've gotten it before, but damn, give me a 30-issue Logan series. Don't even give me Wolverine. Just give me a Logan series. I would love that. Also, I want to mention, in the first issue of the new X-Men series, we saw that Wolverine was with the team, and then he actually left out of disappointment and frustration because he didn't want to do the Civilization game. Now here he is with a bunch of wolves. When we covered that series and then we jumped to Uncanny X-Men, I thought it was like a straight line. Like, it was just an excuse to get him into Gail Simone's Uncanny X-Men. I thought it was A to B, but it turns out this series is going to be the middleman. We see that he's acting a little bit different in Uncanny X-Men, so whatever happens in this series is why he's acting the way he does in Uncanny X-Men. These writers have figured out a way to share this character across all the series, which is really cool. So it just makes it feel all the more connected. We then see these two at the campsite and find this mangled person just completely killed by Cyber. "What happened here?" Nightcrawler asks. "This guy just walked up to the camp. I thought he was another camper until I saw his arms. They were metal. By the time I realized something was off, Dave was already dead. The guy punched Dave to death, like he was having fun," another guy chimes in. "And that psycho, when he was killing Dave, said that he did this to, quote unquote, draw him out. So, which one of you is him? Another man points a finger at him saying, wait a minute, I thought they were like Avengers or something. They're mutants. And everyone's like, oh god, you're right. That psycho must have been one of them too. And Wolverine ignores him, starts sniffing the air, saying, that's Scent. The guy who did this. He's an old enemy of mine, but don't worry, I'm gonna stop him. One of the campers yells, I don't give a f. My buddy's dead because of you. I hope that bastard kills you too. And Nightcrawler's like, please, just listen. You need to leave the area now. It's not safe. And Wolverine cuts him off. Forget him. Guy who did this comes back, they deserve what they get. And Nightcrawler starts arguing, you are not helping. The X-Men are trying to restore trust in... And then he gets shot in the head before Logan tries to save him, pushing him to the ground, saying, get down. And luckily we see that it just nicked him, but he is bleeding out. Through the gunfire, he carries him, hiding him behind a rock. And as he's protecting him, trying to get him to safety, he's getting shot the entire time. He bandages him up, runs away, leaving him there, and starts thinking to himself, it was a rifle shot, but not aimed at the campers or Kurt. It was a signal, the clearing up the hill. He wants me to find him. And that's fine by me. He then comes face to face with this cyber. They instantly start attacking each other with barely any words, and then it's a fight of adamantium versus adamantium. Just these two absolute tanks fighting in the Canadian forest, in the snow. The clashing of the adamantium scraping against each other echoes throughout the woods before Cyber headbutts him, tries to swipe at him again, but Wolverine blocks. And then we start to see this little thing in a cave, this little golden ball coming out of the rock, being awakened by the sound of this adamantium clashing together. And we see it starts to liquidate, rising up into the air, awakening, before Wolverine headbutts him back, sends him flying, and then gets on top of him, saying, your skin might be adamantium, before punching him in the face, until his face starts to bleed and cave in on itself, but your insides aren't, and I'm gonna turn him into jelly, before Cyber tries to crawl away. Get back here, I've got a pack to avenge, he says, getting in his face. Remember when I bit out your eye? I can still taste your blood, but back then, I should have taken them both, and he stabs him in his other eye. Cyber gets out from under him and starts to stumble away. Where are you going? I thought you were a tough guy. Wolverine says. I shot your blue freak buddy, Cyber answers. By now he's probably bled through the cloth you slapped on him. He's probably dying right now, but you're coming after me? You really are an animal. And then he continues running before Logan pauses and then runs back, with Kurt actually healed, saying, Logan, are you alright? Cyber got away, he answers, because you came back for me instead of hunting him down. It's good to have you back. Nightcrawler smirks. You said it yourself. World's changed. I can't go back, so I gotta move forward. And then we see that Cyber ran off into this cave where this gold liquid material was, completely unbeknownst to him, and he hears it off in the distance saying, what the hell? Before turning around and screaming out in terror, no, no, please, before it all goes black. And we see this gold has completely attached to him, turning him gold as well. All the visible parts of his adamantium completely taken over. It looks like symbiote for adamantium. I don't know how it works or what it is, but he's completely taken over. So Cyber is not out of the equation at all. If anything, he's probably more dangerous now. But I just want to say, it is such a testament to how great of a character he is that you can just do the same stuff. I feel like I've read this story before a million times and it just works. Logan just being by himself and then having his loved ones pull him back in works every single time. He's such a good character. The nature of him wanting to be isolated and be away from humanity because he doesn't feel like he belongs, and then having those humans, the most humane people in his life, tell him that he is enough, tell him that he deserves to be amongst people and that other people need him, that other people want him around. Like, it's just so beautiful. I love it. It's so simple, but like just that alone is just so good. So let me know if you want me to continue this series on the channel as it progresses. I love this as kind of a bridge between the two series. Like I mentioned, I thought it was really good. Saladin Ahmed, great writer. I read his Miles Morales series, loved it. I've loved a lot of his work, so I would love to keep reading this and going over it here on the channel to give it the credit and the presentation that I feel it deserves. But let me know in the comments, did you like this story? Subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, that is the video. Thank you for watching.